Good morning, guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Whew. Boy, okay. It's some spiritual warfare going on, guys. Yesterday, even after I made the video yesterday, when I tell you, when we walk in righteousness, like the devil is on us and the devil was on me. I didn't even do a coaching session that I was supposed to do because I just felt weighed down. I just literally felt weighed down yesterday. And even when I did get on here and I made a video yesterday, the Holy Spirit led me to make that video, but I was still like even feeling weighed down and just like I knew Satan was just on me, just riding me. And Lord, guide my words for this video, because I think this is more of just like a confession video. Let me pull this a little bit closer, guys. Sorry for the shaking. This is more like just this channel. On this channel, my videos won't always be the same. Like, I vowed to the Lord to be authentic. And as a Christian, like, I know a lot of people like to get on here and they pretend to be perfect and this is this and I'm just giving you a word and da-da-da. Honey, I'm not perfect, and I don't know a real follower of Christ that is perfect and that has no spiritual warfare. So if you do follow somebody like that, just know that's not authentic. Oh, my allergies, guys. But I'm going to be authentic, like with the way I'm feeling. Like some days I'm going to be full of energy. Some days I'm not going to be full of energy. But I'm still going to get on here and I'm going to do what God has called me to do. And it's to speak to his people, and as many or as few people that may catch this video, like, it's fine with me. But that I'm just here to do what he's called me to do. And that means me being authentic even with what I'm going through. I'm not some Bible thumping follower of Christ that just pretends to be perfect. And just because I follow Christ, like everything falls in line. It does not. When you are a follower of Christ, it's actually quite the opposite. You have more warfare than anything. Yeah, you get blessings and you have your good seasons, but you also have the seasons where you feel like you're in the wilderness and it's tough and it's hard. And sometimes the only person you have to rely on is God. Like, at times you're not going to have family, you're not going to have friends, you're not going to have people that you can talk to about what you're going through. And even if you do have people, you're not going to feel like talking to them. So it's just at times God will call us to just rely on him and him only. Even though he will surround us with divine connections and wise counsel and all of those good people. But there's times where you're not going to want to talk to anybody. Like, you're going to feel like God is the only person that understands you. And that's the only person you're going to rely on. And again, at times, that's what he wants. I've been there to where I only had God. Like, I didn't have anybody I can call on to talk to and really open up to without feeling like they're going to judge me or, just a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, I didn't get on here to talk about that. But what the Lord really wanted me to share is kind of from a personal experience. Like I said, from my very first video, and even in like my bio, guys, my allergies are really kicking my butt this morning. Don't be so fixated on details to the point that you miss God's word to you. You miss him speaking to you. Like, this is open door season for a lot of people. This is the spring. This is the time where God is opening the heavens to pour out blessings, and he's showing us signs, wonders, and miracles. But we cannot be so focused on those signs, wonders, and miracles that we miss out on the person that's providing us those signs, wonders, and miracles. And that's something God had to bring to my attention last night. I was up late last night. Like, I think I went to bed at It was definitely probably after 1 a.m. But that's what he had to bring to my attention. Like, yes, he speaks to me through dreams, visions, and numbers, but I found myself like just being fixated on it and just looking for clues and just looking for him everywhere I go. And that's okay. Like you want to look for God everywhere you go, but not for a sign in everything. Sometimes he's just calling you to rest. Like he's like, I showed you this. Now rest in me. Open up your word. Read your word. And just focus on my words. Don't be so concerned with, oh, God showed me 333, or he showed me this number, or this is what I dream. Yeah, when he shows you dreams, take heed to them. Like journal your dreams. I journal my dreams, and sometimes I can interpret them when I wake up. At other times, he may give me the interpretation way later. But don't be fixated on those things. Literally, open up your hearts. Call out to God, pray to God, talk to him, continue that authentic conversation with him, because even being fixated on signs, wonders, and miracles that he provides to us, Satan will find a way to use that against us and have us so focused on that we miss the provider of those things, which is God. Like signs, wonders, and miracles should never be before him, even if he's the one showing them to you, because anything you put over him, it can turn into an idol. It is an idol, and he's a jealous God. He doesn't like, you to idolize anything. He wants to be first, and that's even in the things that he's giving you. That's just like he provides us with like a job, right? So a lot of us have a very good job, like pays a very good salary, and we're content in that. But that should never be where we feel like we get our income from, where we feel like that job pays our bills, that job pays for this, it does this for us. It doesn't. God provides you with that job. That money comes from God, which is why every time you do get paid, you should tithe. His word says to give 10%. Like you have to know who your source is, and that's him. Your job is not your source. Okay? Your boss, yeah, they can tell you that you're fired or you're hired. Okay, but when you're covered by the blood of God, like he can show you so much grace and mercy that you can do something wrong at your job, and that may have caused somebody else their job, but it won't cause you your job because he's showing you favor. So you have to realize that God is your source. Those people can't hire you or fire you without his say-so. Okay, they can't do anything without his say-so. When you're covered with the blood of God, like you will get hired for a position, and I can use myself, a position that you're not even qualified to do. It's favor. Favor is not fair, but I have to remember where my income comes from. Like I used to be a person that was just like not fixated on money, but just my job was like my source. Like I believed in God, but I looked at my job as my source of income, like the place that provided for me. And God had to shake those things up. And my mindset is totally different now. When I get paid, my first goes to God. Like at any day, we can lose these jobs, but we're never going to lose him. Oh, guys, we're never going to lose him. But stuff like that, we just have to like always keep in mind that everything we have, it comes from him. And that's what he wanted me to get on here and share today, to not be so focused on God just showed me a sign, so this is going to happen on this day. This may happen at this time. Like I feel like he gave me the number 111. So on January 11th at 11 p.m., this is going to happen. Like, no, you cannot be fixated on that. Just know that if he promised you something, it will not return void. He's not a God that lies. It's going to happen, and trust him on the timing. If you read in his word, everything that happens in the Bible usually says at an appointed time, or at that time, or at this set time, because it's based on his timing. And if he gives you a time and tells you 5 p.m., you best believe it's not going to be a minute before or a minute later. It's going to be exactly at 5 p.m. So don't be fixated on the details, and just have faith, even if you don't see what he's promised you in front of you and it looks like it's never going to happen. God is not a God that lies. He's not a God that will tell you something that's not going to happen. So just trust his promises and the rest will take care of itself. You don't have to worry about anything else. That's what Satan wants you to do. He wants you to miss out on your promise because you chose to put God on the back burner and be fixated on time and a season and this and that. Like, no, all you need to know is he gave you a direction and it's going to come to pass because my Father said it's going to come to pass, and that's it. And that's what the Lord had to show me yesterday, because I found myself being so fixated in just like the things that he was showing me, that I was looking for a sign in everything. And I was like depending on everything to get me to the next sign, so to speak, even though it was from him. But still, like, you don't want to get too overly involved in that. And when you do, you have to pray, like, God, remove this from my heart. Like, let me focus on what you're showing me. Let me not be so fixated on what the signs or what you're giving to me, but let me be fixated on you. Because any little crack, like, Satan could use against you, and it turns into something that you never even meant it to turn into. So just be careful with being fixated on things rather than God and who he is and what he says. So that's what he brought to my attention yesterday that I wanted to share with you guys. And again, as followers of Christ, we're all going to go through these things. Like, just because we follow Christ doesn't make us exempt from everyday issues or from the same issues as a person who's not a follower of Christ. Like, we're going through affliction just like everybody else is going through affliction. Again, the only difference is that when you're covered with the blood and you're a follower of Christ and a believer of Christ, you're going to be okay. Yeah, I can't tell somebody that who's not a follower of Christ that everything's going to be okay. But I can say that to a person that is a follower of Christ and is authentically, like, in a relationship with God. Like, that's their first love. Like, he takes care of his kids. He takes care of his kids. He protects them from evildoers. Like, the enemies fall at our feet because we are followers of Christ. So he definitely takes care of his children. Let's see, what else did I write down here? Okay. Another thing he gave me too was that it's so, like, we're always wanting him to raise the dead things in our lives, right? Like anything that's relationships or, finances, like anything that we consider dead. Like, we want him to resurrect it, and he can resurrect those dead things. He can bring anything to life. But in order for him to bring something to life, it has to die first, right? So when you see things start to just go wrong in your life and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I lost this job. I can't believe this person left me. I can't believe this happened. Things have to die for him to resurrect it. So if things are happening in your life, know that he can turn and will turn all of that around for the good. And sometimes it's not the things that need to die. Sometimes it's you. You need to die to self. We're supposed to die to self daily, meaning drop our ways, pick up our cross, as in pick up his ways and his like commandments and the way he wants us to do things and walk. That requires us dying to self daily. We can't want to do things our way and want to do things his way. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. His way, the exit could be right around the corner. If we want to do things our way, 9 times out of 10, we're just going to be going in circles. So there is no exit. Okay. It's like a little one-way street and you're just going to keep driving. But with him, know that there's an exit. Like your troubles, they're not going to last long. Like when you choose his way, he makes a way. When you choose your way, you better hope it's a way, Okay? Like, we have to die to self daily. So sometimes it's not that you need to get rid of that friend or get rid of this person. Sometimes you need to get rid of yourself. Your enemy can be your inner me. And I always like remind myself of that. Like, my enemy can be my inner me, as in myself. We are our biggest enemy sometimes. And we have to pay attention to that. So die to self daily. Like, we can't live for us and live for him. Like, we can't live. And when I say that, I don't mean like, yeah, you want to live, you want to have a good life, you want to have all of those things, but you have to do it his way. If you do it his way, it's never gonna turn out bad. There's always gonna be a way. And I'm gonna finish this video because you guys, I'm over here sniffling and everything, trying not to sneeze. So I'm gonna get this word out because I told God that I would. But yeah, for something to live, or for him to raise something from the dead, it has to die. So if things are going crazy around you, it's okay. Like, he can resurrect it. We have to give it to him. In Haggai chapter 2, verse 9, it says, the latter glory of his house shall be greater than the former. And in this place I will grant peace and prosperity, declares the Lord Almighty. I'm going to read that again. This is Haggai chapter 2, verse 9. The latter, as in the current, glory of his house shall be greater than the former, as in the current, like now, is going to be greater than what it was before. You just have to trust him. And in this place I will grant peace and prosperity, declares the Lord Almighty. So what he has for us, what's to come, what's in the now is going to be greater than anything we've ever experienced. It's going to give us peace, prosperity, abundance. We just have to trust him to make a way. Trust him that everything's going to turn out the way he said it would turn out. And if you have an authentic relationship with him, you would have already had a conversation with him to know what direction your life is going in and what plans he has for you. For a long time, I couldn't hear from God for years. This is all new to me because I never completely surrendered to him until I went through what I went through last year. Guys, I'm about to sneeze, but I need to get this out. So once you surrender to him, just know that you're on the path. You're on that right path, and he will start speaking to you so that you know where you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to live, who you're supposed to be in a relationship with, what you're supposed to do is like, what's your calling, what's your purpose, what job you're supposed to be at. He'll start to reveal all of this to you so that you're not just guessing what you're supposed to do. He doesn't make it that difficult for you. Like, he will speak to you and tell you what to do. You just have to trust that. Even in Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 8, it says the end of a matter is better than the beginning, and patience is better than pride. I'm going to read that again. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 8. The end of a matter is better than the beginning, and patience is better than pride. So what he has for you is better than how it started, but we have to have patience, okay? Patience means you have to have the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry. That's what patience means. The capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry, okay? Just know that the end is better than the beginning, but you have to have patience, and you can't be prideful, okay? Being prideful means that you're satisfied with your own works. It's an arrogant attitude, and God hates pride. He hates prideful people. So you set your pride to the side and you remain humble, remain patient. Remain humble and patient. And just know that he'll see you through. Like, there's an end to what you're going through. And when you get to that end, you're going to be able to give him all the glory. all the glory, and that's what he wants. He wants you to be able to give him glory, to know that you couldn't have gotten to that expected end without him, that you didn't get yourself there. No one else got you there. You surrendered to him. The situation was dead, and he was the only person that can get you there, and he did. And he wants the glory from that, which is why you need to give it all to him. He doesn't want you to have to praise other people for getting you there. And that's why he puts us in these really dead situations sometimes, to where we're like, okay, if this happens, I know that this was only God, because this couldn't have happened any other way. It couldn't have happened any other way. And that's what he wants. He wants to get you to a point where you know that situation is good as dead, okay? Your situation is Lazarus all the way. Okay? Like, you need him. The only way for this to live is if God comes in and literally resurrects this thing. And he will, but surrender to him. Don't make your own plans, or like your little outline or timeline on this is how I'm going to do it, and maybe I can help him in this area. He doesn't need your help. You didn't create any part of this world. So just know he can do it by himself. He doesn't need your help with anything. Give it to him. Let him take over, and he will get you there. If you want to step in, you'll probably get to an end that's a good ending, but it's going to be temporary. So you're going to be temporarily happy, and then back on your knees praying like, God, why did this happen to me? When he gets you to the end, it's eternal. It's forever. Whatever door he opens, no man can shut. What he brings together, let no man tear apart. Okay? And that's not just for marriages. That's for life. Whatever he brings together, nobody can tear that apart or take that from you. And you have to trust that. Whatever door he opens, nobody can close it. Nobody can say, nope, you can't come through this door. No, not when he opens the door. When you open the door for yourself, yeah, people can close it. They can go in and out. But when he does a thing, he does a thing. And it's what he says that goes. If he closes the door, no man can open it without his permission. So just know, if you want long-lasting happiness versus temporary, you got to choose to let him take over, to let him do it. Let him do a new thing. If you do a new thing, that new thing is going to be short-lived. And I learned that the hard way. I learned that the hard way, okay? I don't want this video to be too long, but I did want to read Romans 11:33 through 36. And that's what I was reading last night. And got my mind really going. I was really in my word last night, guys. I had to be. Romans 11:33 through 36. Okay, it says, oh, the depth of the riches and wisdom and knowledge of God. How unsearchable are his judgments and unfathomable. I get that word messed up all the time. Unfathomable are his ways. For who has known the mind of the Lord, or who has become his counselor, or who has first given him, or it shall be repaid to him? For from him and through him and to him are all things. To him be the glory forever. Amen. Meaning, you can't search out every way of God. There is no way. Some ways are just his ways, and you'll never understand them. You just won't. Yes, he does conceal things, and his word tells us that he conceals things, and he expects us to search out certain things. But you will never know every way of God, like why he moves the way he moves and why he does the things he does. And you can't just get on and Google how God is moving, because you're not going to find anything. Okay, so some of his ways will be unsearchable, meaning not capable of being searched or explored. Okay, and some things, like some of his ways, his ways will be unfathomable, meaning incapable of being fully explored or understood. He has secret things, guys. He has secret ways, and he doesn't have to expose everything to us, and he won't. Some things, yeah, but some things are secret things. And we're not his counselor. Like, we're not, you know, God doesn't have to look to us for anything. Like, we're supposed to look to him, and that's what his word says in Romans 11, verses 33 through 36. He doesn't have to rely on us for anything. We have to rely on him for everything. He needs us for nothing. Like, he doesn't have to pray for me to help him out of a situation. He is the God of all gods. Like, he can do all things. We can't do half of what he can do. His ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts, and they will never be. We are human. We are of the flesh. He's spirit. Like, he's pure. He's clean. He can't lie. Like, we can lie. We do it, some of us, all the time. We still lie as Christians. We lie when we don't know we're lying, which is why when you pray, you say, God, forgive me for my sins I committed knowingly and unknowingly. Some things we do, including like overeating, that's a sin. So we still sin. Like, so if you meet someone that's like, no, I'm Christian, I don't sin. Yeah, okay. You just did sin by saying you're Christian and you don't sin. We all sin, but God does not. So that alone, like, lets you know we're not on the same level as God. He's God for a reason. If we were on the same level and can understand everything he does and can know all of his plans and all of his ways, we wouldn't need a God. We wouldn't need the God, not a God, the God. We wouldn't need God, our Father, if we had the same ways as him and we can do everything that he could do. So just understand that. Let him iron things out. Like, you can't figure him out. Let him do a thing. Let him surprise you. Let him blow your mind. And when he does, he is going to blow your mind. Like, you're not even going to be able to believe that that thing happened, because it's going to be just that good. And you're going to know no one else could have done it. What he has me standing and waiting for, I know no one in this world could do it for me. Not one person. Not one person. And I know that I'm so close to, like, birthing this thing in me. Satan knows I'm so close to birthing this thing, and he is attacking me at every which way. Every which way. But he won't win. Like, my prayer life is strong. Like, I know how to call on my Father. And when I feel like I can't take it anymore, I ask him to give me his yoke. Like, it's light. Take these burdens from me. I have friends that I can call that pray for me. If you don't have friends, you can call TBN, the TV network. They will pray for you over the phone 24 hours a day. So there's always somebody available that can come into agreement with you, where two or more are gathered, like, God is in the midst. So there's always someone that can pray for you. And your prayer life has to be strong when dealing with life. Satan can spot a weakness and he'll feed off your weakness so fast. Before you could even blink your eye, you're like, dang, I was just having, and I said dang, guys, D-A-N-G, I didn't curse. But you're like, dang, I was just having a good day, and all of a sudden, I just hit rock bottom. Like, the whole thing changed, and you're wondering why. The enemy, he is the why, okay? If your day goes from being, like, upbeat, praising God, to just hitting rock bottom, that's the enemy. He doesn't want to see you happy. He doesn't like you. He hates you. He wants to kill you and your dreams and your family and everything else. So, guys, that's all I have. I also read Romans chapter 12, verse 9 through 21. And it tells you, like, what the Lord expects of Christians. And a Christian means you're a follower of Christ. Not all that religious stuff. Like, his word tells you what he expects from you as a Christian. And that's Romans chapter 12, verses 9 through 21. I'm not going to read it, and I'm pretty sure this video is about to end soon. But yeah, I just want to end it right there and just tell you to follow Christ authentically. Stop looking for all the signs, wonders, and miracles, and just look for him. Everything else will come. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. Don't let Satan steal your joy. Today is a day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it, regardless of where we are in life and what we're going through. But I love you guys, and thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.